What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 58 of the Charge to the Top here with Hereford FC. And today we are back with our second episode here in the Championship. Today we are going to be taking on Sheffield United. Since the last episode, they're going really well actually, but before we get into that, little bit of transfer news. We've done some more last minute dealings. Yes, a deadline day signing. I mentioned at the end of kind of last episode the fact I was looking at getting in a striker. I found kind of the man I think I was looking for from Chesterfield for £275,000. A really good deal actually, I think. Kalen Hines here, former Arsenal trainee, 24 years old. He's just a really well-rounded advanced forward. He can also play centre attacking mid, which is obviously beneficial to us because we do have one of those in our system. But really, other than his lack of decisions and balance, he's just a really well kind of rounded, I guess, striker. And he did, in fact, score on his debut on off the bench in our most recent game. So a great start for him. In terms of some loans on the out, the big one really is the fact that Ceciliano, the Costa Rican youngster, of course, player who hasn't got a work permit, he's gone on loan to Vaduz in Switzerland, and he's also started playing a little bit more regularly for the national team, which is good for him because that will help him, of course, get a work permit with us, hopefully, and obviously playing regular first team football, playing in the Swiss kind of top flight, gives him loads of opportunities to play football, hopefully develop. And I guess a little bit of an update on another one of our players who, of course, is out on loan, Akusu. He's gone to Libertad. He's looking like he's developing nicely, the 18-year-old. You know, he's really in the kind of under-20s fray for the Ivory Coast, which is great because, of course, he's only 18. And, yeah, as you can see here, so far, so good as far as his loan is concerned. Speaking of transfers, there are actually a few more that I'm hoping to get done. I unearthed something which I want to capitalise on, and that's the fact that there are a lot of very good players in the USA Under-23s team who have contracts expiring or have expired. So you can see we've actually got bids in for a few players. We're waiting on a work permit potentially for Patrick Declout. He's probably the best of the players. Plays for the Chicago Fire, very good advanced playmaker, 21 years old, fairly determined. But there are a few other players here. Travis Jackson, maybe a player that I look to get in. He's only 16 years old. Valenzuela as well, another player waiting on a work permit for him, only 17. Great determination, good flair, good tackler as well. Could be a really good, I think, defensive midfielder in the future. And the other player we're looking at is Gustavo Lopez here, who is 16 years old with 20 determination, 16 agility, looking to maybe bring him in on a free. He's playing currently for the USA Under-21 side, so a fantastic player there. And as I said, yeah, there's a few other players here who, if I can have my way, I'd like to approach to sign. Damon Naylor, for example, here, he's currently keeping his options open until nearer the end of his current contract, but there's a few other players here, and I think there could be a few very good kind of superstars in the making. But right now, they're not all that interested in talking to me. So obviously we haven't actually added that much to our side since the last episode, just the one striker. But since that last episode, they've gone surprisingly well, I think, all in all. You know, we can't really fault ourselves. We advanced in the EFL Cup. We won 1-0 against AFC Wimbledon, a side recently relegated to League 2. Was our B team, but still good to get the win, of course. We then took on Wigan in our first home game of the season. And, well, I feel like this year, if we want to get kind of a mid to top half finish, we need to be getting good results at Edgar Street. And a 2-0 win here, a great little result. Jay Beckford getting a goal. Kevin Kelly as well. James Maddison, player of the match. Did pick up a little injury, which if we just look at, it wasn't anything too major, so it wasn't too bad, just a damaged heel. But it did mean that we had to play a few games without him, and I felt like we actually adapted quite well to play without him. You can see, away from home against Stoke City, a side who are recently relegated I think in recent years. I don't know if it was last year or the year before they were relegated, but they still have a good side. As you can see here, we got a hard-earned draw. We kind of FM'd them a little bit, but you have to ride your luck. Kevin Kelly getting another goal. You can see so far for this guy, 6 starts, 1 appearance off the bench in the Championship, 2 goals and 4 assists. He's doing the business for us, the young Scot. Really delighted, obviously, to just see him doing as well as he is. It's great to have a player like him, I guess, who has been on loan with us last year, and he's really doing the business again for us this year. Anyway, in the next game we took on Reading, another good win, a home win, thanks to Andy O'Neill mostly. As you can see, we were kind of fortuitous, I think, to get a win. The stats kind of reflect how tight the game was. You'll notice here, actually, Tom Davies is another player we did sign. I talked about the fact I was looking to get him in at the end of last episode. That deal did happen, for those of you wondering. So far, Not the greatest start of the club for him, but he did okay here. And yeah, good win. Good win. Obviously, two away goals kind of helped us out a little bit. Unfortunately, our EFL Cup run came to an end. We lost 3-1 at home against Norwich, a team who we'd go on to draw against in just a few league games' time. It was a tight game. As you can see, Norwich perhaps had the better of the play. They've got significantly better players than us. You've got players like Lys Mousset here, the Frenchman, a very good striker. We can't really compete with him. He's a little bit better than our kind of players. So I was disappointed, I guess, to get knocked out in the second round of the EFL Cup because it's a tournament we've never really gone in a run on. But we'll deal with it. Unfortunately, however, that 3-1 defeat was followed by another 3-1 home defeat, as you can see here against Brentford. Again, this was a really tight game. Unfortunately, just perhaps a few lapses defensively cost us. You can see here, Rojas and Kavanagh, our two fullbacks, they've been a little bit lacking so far this year, and I think Brentford did take advantage of that. In our next game, however, away from home against Huddersfield, who were top of the league, we won 2-1. Now, we FM'd them again. You can see Jack Barmby with a goal in the 26th minute. Madison with one in the 63rd. I say we FM'd them, looking at the stats, because it kind of would look like that. If we actually look at the match stats, we had as many clear-cut chances as them, and 3 half chances to their 1 half chance. So we probably had the better of the opportunities. And, we made them count. Kevin Kelly getting the man of the match, but Jack Barmby and James Maddison with the goals there. Good win. Unfortunately, our good start to the season. I don't want to say it came to an end here against Norwich, but it was a little bit underwhelming, to be fair. But Caelan Hines scored on his debut, as I mentioned, and it's a goal. It's a goal worth watching. Not necessarily a 3D-worthy goal, but certainly in 2D. I wish the pitch would show what was happening. Can we go close? If I go close, is it going to show the actual action? Because at the moment, all the dots are missing. I mean, showing the goal in 2D kind of works if you can see the dots moving around on screen. If they're not there, slightly problematic. But anyway, this was the goal. Kevin Kelly playing through Hines, but he's got a lot to do here. He beats one man, uses his pace to get around another, tucks it into the bottom corner. Lovely goal for him on his debut. He'd only been on the pitch a matter of minutes. And I can't really fault the effort there. 1-1 it finished. Caelan Hines making an impact. And well, with those results, you may have noticed they're not that bad. We actually currently sit in 6th, which is, I mean, as I said, pretty good. We've already played Brentford, we've played Huddersfield, we've played Norwich. Obviously, now it looks in hindsight like that defeat to Colchester is a really poor result. I don't want to get too carried away, of course, because we've only played 7 games this season. We do sit on 11 points, though, and really my aim this year is just to get mid-table if we can. Just don't get involved in any kind of relegation battle. But with our squad as a whole, I feel like we've improved a lot, and maybe we could kind of mount an outside chance of the playoffs, although it's going to be tough, and it's going to involve us really, I think, getting the most out of our players. But that is something that we've done over the years here. So actually, today we are going to be taking on Sheffield United, because I thought we'd be struggling more than we are. They are not doing too badly. They currently sit on 7 points from 7 games. They've only actually lost 2 games this year, but they've drawn 4. In terms of our team, as I mentioned, the fullback's not performing great. But with the exception of them, it's been a relatively good start to the year. You can see Caelan Hines obviously on an 8.0 rating after his 1 game. But James Maddison stepped up again this year. 3 goals and 1 assist for him. A 7.4 average rating for the 25-year-old. Can't ask for more from this person, can I? He joined us in League 2. He's still with us now. And he's still contributing a hell of a lot to the first team. He had a very good pre-season, as well as is kind of indicated by the 7 goals and 6 assists. And, really can't fault him. Harry Lennon, another player who's stepped up. A player who, if we look at his star ratings, good rating for the senior team. Considered a League 1 player, I believe, by some of my scouts. Yeah, you can see here, League 1 quality. Well, he's putting in the performances at the moment. A 7.33 average rating for him. Of course, a player now in his 4th year at the club, in a 4th kind of different division. He is performing very well indeed. And, well, I already talked about Kevin Kelly, but he is going strong as well, the Scottish striker. Not necessarily banging them in goal-scoring wise, but he's just been involved in so many goals in the build-up, getting lots of assists. And I kind of feel like with the kind of firepower we have in behind him, it's kind of nice to not have the pressure on your lone striker to be kind of getting the goals to secure you wins. So anyway, this is the team. You can see we do have a few little injury bits and bobs. Unfortunately, Liam Evans currently out for 6 to 7 weeks, of course, in on loan from Watford. A little bit gutted that he's got injured because he's not played that much first-team football for us. You can see he's not had the greatest start to the year. Another player who's been a little bit so-so has been Harry Beautyman, of course, a player we brought in from Northampton. Unfortunately, the £350,000 man, you can see 5 games played, 6.84 average rating. Also currently out with a sports hernia, of course. I talked about it a little bit last episode, but our centre of the midfield is very, very good. Of course, the transfer window is now kind of rounded up now, so I can kind of look at my squad in hindsight and kind of, I guess, provide some thoughts. And to be honest, I'm really happy with how things have gone this year because in kind of early July. Would early July be right? I was worried, I'll be honest. We were struggling to bring in players, and one big issue that I've kind of got, I'll see if I can kind of quickly show you it, but one big issue I've had is that because we've risen through the leagues well, but we've not actually won like League 1 or League 2, and because of how quickly we've kind of risen up the ranks, our reputation just isn't very good. Like, it's bang average, and actually if we compare ourselves to other teams, I'm now not going to be able to find us, even though we probably are highlighted and I'm probably blind. You can see us here, we're in the Championship, but our reputation it's comparable with a lot of League 2 teams, and obviously that limits the players I can actually bring into the club. I assume that we do have the lowest reputation for any team in the Championship. You can see Colchester just a little bit ahead of us, and it was really impacting my ability to sign players. I was looking at the likes of Blackburn, and they were signing players that I wanted to sign, but who weren't interested in talking with me. Of course, that's one of the reasons why I'm obviously signing all these American youngsters, is because I can't attract players in England, and it's a bit of a pain, obviously, because with Brexit, with the fact that players just in Europe in general need work permits, it really does limit the players I can bring in. And obviously the additions of players like Tom Davies and Ryan Ledston, they were kind of fairly late additions, I guess, in the transfer window, but they're also kind of players I absolutely had to sign. And it's unfortunate in some ways that because of our low reputation, we have missed out on some other players. But kind of given, I guess, our financial constraints, we don't have a load of money to spend, we don't have a bottomless pit when it comes to wages. Given our reputation, I kind of look at this squad now, I'm really happy with it. Just to put it into kind of perspective, I believe players with 3.5 star in our team are considered decent players for the Championship. We don't really have any star Championship players. I guess Chucky here, he's the exception. He'd be a good player for the Championship. But really, you kind of look at our team as a whole. We are the team in England that made the most signings this year with 14 in the summer window. But we have a Championship squad, and I feel like mid-table actually is very attainable now. And obviously, given our start to the year, I don't want to change our aspirations too soon. But, you know, if we can get a few good results against the likes of Sheffield United and then start beating a few of the teams kind of in the top half, I don't know. I feel like that we can maybe push for a playoff spot. I don't think that's out of the question, considering kind of our other years as well. I believe in us. I'm going to change Chucky's name to Chucky now. I'm sorry, Chucky. It's taken this long. We'll go with it spelt like that, I think. He loves it. Right, let's get into today's game. We are taking on, as I already mentioned, Sheffield United. It's a big game for us. We are away from home, and our away form has actually been not that bad. We've not lost this year in an away game other than Colchester on the opening day of the season, so hopefully we can keep that going. In terms of our team, I obviously mentioned kind of some of the injuries we've kind of got going on. Our team as a whole, though, still very happy with it. As I mentioned, the centre midfield, perhaps Davies and Ledson could do with improving their performances. And at fullback, I look at Rojas, I look at Kavanagh, also look a little bit at Chucky. The average rate's a little bit lacking there. I guess it's been fortuitous in the sense that, much like I guess in previous seasons, we kind of have the attitude of let's just outscore the opposition, and it's kind of serving us well. Anyway, looking at it, they're going to be playing a 4-4-2. That really suits us. I've talked about this before, but we like to play between the lines. You may have noticed, actually, a little bit of a tactical change since the last episode. As some of you will know, back in, I think it was League 2, I used to play with our wingers on support and our attacking midfielder on attack. And then I kind of changed it because it was struggling and teams seemed to be finding us out. And I changed our wingers to be on attack and Maddison to be on support in the kind of centre attacking mid position. I've now reversed that back because after the Colchester game, I was sat there thinking we've been beaten against a team who obviously I predicted to go down with us. Maybe I could experiment a little bit with stuff that I'm already familiar with, see what works. And I don't know if it's just this little tactical change. I don't know if it's a degree of luck. But teams seem to be struggling to cope with this system with the wingers on support. I guess it makes sense in some respects that because we are a smaller team, teams like to go on the attack, and so having our wingers on support does mean that Barnby and Beckford, they are willing to drop in a little bit deeper and help us defensively and kind of make a flat four in midfield when we don't have the ball at times. Whereas with them on attack and Maddison on support, it does leave our fullbacks perhaps a little bit exposed because the wingers are obviously so high up the field, they're kind of relieved of their defensive duties. So this has been working well for us, just a little role change there. Other than that, the system really hasn't changed that much, and it's kind of weird in a way that the changes that we brought in this year are actually changes that we reverted from when we were in League 2. But it's working well for us. Obviously, another reason I changed it after that Colchester game was the fact that we lost against Colchester, but of course, For those of you who watched the end of last season, you'll know we didn't buy a win in any of those games. We were actually on a 6-game losing run, so I was kind of thinking maybe I should change something. But anyway, we're on the attack here. James Maddison through on goal. Kelly with the pass. Can he finish it? Of course he can. 1-0. Dream start from us away from home. Maddison with his 4th goal of the season. It's his 50th, I believe, for Hereford as well, as the commentators just mentioned there. And, well, fair play to him. He's been a loyal servant to the club over the years. And it's a lovely finish by the young centre attacking midfielder. Kelly turning assisty. You know, this is quite nice. With our advance forward and now Maddison playing on the attack duty, he's just a little bit more willing to push on beyond the striker. Of course, on the support duty, he's more willing to tuck in and not necessarily make those runs off the striker. And, well, Maddison and Kelly, they've been building up a phenomenal... I can't say the word. Phenomenal. I give up. I was going to try and say it again. I give up. Right, we're on the attack. That's what I'm trying to say. Someone write the word that I was trying to say. I could write it myself, but I'll probably forget. I'm so sad. Phenomenal. There we go. Phenomenal. Why was that so... I mean, that was a... Can't say it now. I was going to describe Bennett's strike as phenomenal. I can't... Again. Right. Send help. If I don't label this episode now phenomenal, it's been a mistake. I don't know why I can't say that word. I want him 2 times. But anyway, great strike by Mason Bennett. Much to my, I guess, annoyance. But fair play, lovely finish by him. A player who I really like in Football Manager. He used to be a lot better a few years ago. Of course, I'm not sure if he's still at Derby in real life. Answers on a postcard, let me know, Derby fans. But yeah, Mason Bennett, he's finding too much space. Maybe we should close him down. Let's do that. Makes sense. So looking at the stats here, game's been pretty even, obviously. We got that goal early on. They've fought back immediately. But, well, we've got quality to score goals when we create opportunities, and we might have a chance here. Kelly's through. He's not got a load of pace, but he's got enough to make it clear. Unfortunately, his finishing has let him down there, the Scottish striker. He was clean through on goal. The keeper, the last kind of line of defence, unfortunately, stopped there. And, well, we might still be able to make something. We have a corner. It's going to be Maddison to take it. It's gone out for another corner, in fact. I feel like this is just the kind of dying embers of that last highlight, and there's not going to be anything happen here. But I want to be optimistic. I want to believe something could happen. Nothing happened. Nothing happened there. Okay, we've got another corner. Now I believe. Ball whipped in. Keeper collects it. We might be a little bit susceptible to the counter here. Can we get back into shape? We can. You can see good work ethic by the players to, you know, get back and get reorganised. And, well, nice build-up play here. Beckford has pace. Can he beat his man? Actually elects to go inside. Probably smart considering he had 2 on him. But we are still with the ball here. Maddison, Kelly from range. Back to Maddison. Lovely ball. Lovely finish. They link up again. It's 2-1 here. And, well, the goals... They've never been drying up really at Hereford, but we've got another one here. I act surprised. These two, they've been doing it all season so far. Lovely build-up play. The finish, delightful. Just squeezes it in at that far post. Keeper tries to get across and can't. And, well, it's a game full of highlights at the moment. It's 2-1. We're doing well. We're leading a game, and, well, when you have the initiative, things are kind of looking rosy. Looking at the stats, Sheffield United, they've struggled. They've slowed down as this half's progressed, although they are still on the attack here. And Mason Bennett has shown he can strike a sweet shot, so we are going to have to be wary of him. Brownhill now with the ball on a booking, goes all the way back to the keeper. Curious there. Ball pumped forward. 2 players go for it. We do come away with it eventually, although now our defensive positioning is all over the pace. The ball in to Mason Bennett. He grabs his brace. And, well, that all started from 2 players going for the exact same ball, charging out a long way as well to win that ball. It left so much space in behind. We have got a little bit of a kick clash going on today, haven't we? That's not ideal. I feel like the black and red stripes against the white and red stripes probably shouldn't happen, but it's happened today. Fortunately, it's not, of course, not too bad in 2D, so it's not the end of the world. Although, well, that is the end of the world. A deflected free kick by Brownhill goes in. It's his 2nd goal of the season. He's got fortunate. As I said, it's deflected off the wall. And a game that we've had probably the more of the chances in and a bit of the better of the half. Unfortunately, we're going to go in a goal down, it seems, unless there's another late goal in this half. Sheffield United, 4 shots on target, 3 goals. Chucky in goal. He's not in the greatest half, although there might be another chance here. We need to defend. We need to defend. Mason Bennett gets a hat-trick in the first half. What are we doing? We completely switch off. Sheffield United have punished us. And, well, Chucky in goal. What are you doing? Maybe bring Rob Elliott back, Jack. That might be a move at this point. Chucky's been a little bit disappointing, you know. He's considered our key player, the Nigerian international goalkeeper. But maybe we're seeing why he's been struggling to find a club at a top level. But, well, I've got to tell the players I'm not happy. That's absolutely appalling. Gustavo Rojas has really struggled, so I'm actually going to take him off. He's on a 6.2. Kavanagh on a 6.2 as well. Both fullbacks just not doing the greatest job. I may have to switch them to the defend duty going forward, because this is becoming kind of a common issue. I can't really fault our attacking display. I guess you could argue Jay Beckford out on the right could be doing better. But, well, we'll go with just the one change for now. I don't want to change things too drastically, although we have got kind of game changers on the bench. We've got players we can maybe bring on to really swing a game in our favour. But I'm going to stick with these players now, because we have created opportunities, and we might have a chance here immediately. Maddison should have done so much better. It was a clear-cut chance. 20 seconds into the second half, a chance to really change the tide of this game. And unfortunately, well, we've squandered it. Rico Henry, he scored for Brentford. Why does his name ring a bell? What save did I have Rico Henry in? I don't know. Did I have him in a save? I don't think I did. I think I'm going crazy. And yeah, that's I say I think. We've known that for a while, Jack. We've known that for a while. Right, 30 minutes left in this game. They've got another set piece. We've not dealt with set pieces. It's Mason Bennett again. He's got 4. They've had 6 shots. They've just scored every chance they've had. I mean, I can't fault the clinicalness of Sheffield United. But in a game where we've created as many chances as we have, to somehow be 3-2 down just feels a little bit harsh, doesn't it? Let's be honest here. It doesn't feel right. We've got our own set piece. Maddison whips it in. Ball in. I mean, this is a game for the neutrals at the moment, isn't it? Barnby back to Kavanagh. He's not the greatest game, the left back. Can he have a better game now? Beckford, he looked offside. He wasn't offside. He just missed another great chance for us. 4th clear-cut chance of the game squandered. Time to make some changes. Beckford on the right's been poor. I'm going to bring in Mayo Waters for him. I'm also going to bring in Caelan Hines for Kevin Kelly. Although Kevin Kelly's done well on a 6.9 with 2 assists, perhaps that 6.9 just indicates how many chances he's missed for us. Kind of perhaps making a bold move, I guess, to change all of our change all of our subs now after just 60 minutes. But we've got to risk things. We've got to risk it for a chocolate biscuit, as the kids say. And I want a chocolate digestive to end this game with. But, well, the chocolate digestive seems a long way away here as the kind of time just ticks away. I'm going to switch both of our fullbacks to attack. I'm also going to switch Davies and Ledson's positions around. I don't want Davies getting sent off, and I think he's more likely to get a second yellow, kind of playing that centre mid on defend duty for us. So we'll change things there. Anyway, still time. I still believe. 15 minutes left. Hines, the new kid on the block, giving away the ball. Lennon heads it clear. Only as far as Reed, although Ledson, lovely tackle there. Mayo Waters through to Maddison. Can he finish this time? He should do. He does do. We have 10 minutes left or so. 15 minutes, Jack. It's not 10 minutes. To try and make something happen here. Can we do it? That is the question. It's an 8-goal thriller as things stand. Mayo Waters threads through Maddison. I mean, I feel bad for him because he's got a hat-trick. Unfortunately, Mason Bennett's got 4, so no one's ever going to remember his hat-trick in this game. But, I mean, it's 5-3. It's not exactly been a classic performance as far as we're concerned. But, well, we have 10 minutes left. We're on the attack again. Barnby, Davies, Mayo Waters, the sub. Can he finish? He's dispossessed O'Neill. Maddison hits the woodwork. Had a chance to get 4. And he probably should have scored 4. We've had 6 clear-cut chances. How does this happen? Oh dear. On another day, this would have been a very, very different game, you'd feel, wouldn't you? A deflected free kick that went in. A few defensive lapses on set pieces. Maybe I've got to shift our focus as a team to defending set pieces because we were poor at defending them today. Unfortunately, I think that's going to be all she wrote for this game. No chance of getting anything from this game. And, well, after a really good start to the year, it feels a little bit disappointing, I guess, to not only lose to Colchester on the opening day, but in our second live come against a team who you'd have to say we should be back to be beating even away from home. To lose 5-3 just feels a little disappointing. Although, I feel like we gave a really good account of ourselves, actually. We were pretty unlucky. We created a lot of chances. On another day, as I said, we could have scored a lot more of those opportunities. We slipped down to 12th, kind of in line with our expectations. Obviously, disappointing to lose to Sheffield, but they've only lost 2 games this year. They are not doing too badly at all. And, well, actually, in our next game, we're going to be taking on Sunderland in 12th, who are a mid-table team. So that could be, I guess, a defining game there. Anyway, Lopez has accepted an offer. That's good. He's the young goalkeeper in the USA Under-21. So hopefully he can get a work permit. I don't think he will. Of course, that's not really a concern of mine because I'm signing these youngsters for either future first team players or of course to sell on for money. You can see, looking at our kind of reserves now, we've got some players doing fairly well. Obviously, I've talked about Siciliano and Akusu. James Jones, the young New Zealand winger, has started playing regular first-team football for the national team, which is good to see. Obviously, without a work permit at the moment, we almost got a loan deal sorted for him right at the end of the transfer deadline day. Unfortunately, paperwork wasn't completed in time. It was going to be a move, I think, to the Danish Superliga, so that would have been a good little deal for him. Unfortunately, not come through. Liam Fox, also the goalkeeper, currently out with a dislocated jaw, but playing regular first-team football for Hartlepool. 4 clean sheets in 6 games for him. Not too bad at all. Obviously, only 18. Hopefully, his kind of regular first-team football there can help him develop into a good little player, because I feel like for a goalkeeper especially, that's kind of just critical to their development. Also, one more player we'll do a quick little update on. Daniel Schneider at Vincenza in Serie B. Obviously, young centre-back, signed from Berghausen after he was released there. My scout kind of flagged him up as being a good player. Great mentals, kind of a good, well-rounded player in general. Could be a really good, I think, centre midfielder or a good ball-playing defender, actually. Unfortunately, obviously, without a work permit, but currently playing in Serie B. 3 games played, 7.2 free average rating. It's all good in the hood. Right, I can't believe I've just said that. Let's end on that kind of hoodness. In terms of when we'll be back for the next episode, I'm not sure. Obviously, with this year, I expect us to kind of finish mid-table. Obviously, our form of late, not great, but it's kind of mid-table form. In terms of when we'll be back, I'm tempted to do the Nottingham Forest game, just because they are a very, very big team in the division who are recently relegated and they are currently underperforming. But we'll kind of play it by ear. We might work out, who our main rivals are going to be this year. Looking slightly further ahead, maybe Cardiff could be a good one, because we do, I believe, Hereford have a rivalry against Cardiff. Actually, that makes more sense to do as the game. Yeah, you can see here, historic rivalry against Cardiff. So we will do that game. It is in a little while, but as I mentioned, a lot of these games, they're all in the league, 9 of them. We'll get through them, we'll see where things are. Hopefully, we can get a good result against our rivals next time out. If you've enjoyed, as always, please leave a like. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. And other than that, thank you for watching as always, guys. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.